Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to NetBraids, where we've got tons of cool news to talk about with the 7th anniversary event now live in game. Plarium has put out, obviously I did a whole video on it, not this one, but the raid and review. You can check out that video. That was fun looking at the stats. Obviously we're talking about the live arena leaderboards perhaps not being quite right. I don't know why yet. I've heard some speculation, but people are also saying that the siege leaderboards, that they basically called out a few clans as having lots of wins, but then they left out a bunch of clans as well that maybe were equally deserving to be up there, perhaps had more wins, I'm not sure. But anyway, like I think Olympic Conquest got called out, that they've won literally every siege forever and didn't get. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. But first of all, we have two really nice free things, which is great. Really, really good. And I saw as well, like they're putting up some of these packs. I don't know if this is actually good or not, like in terms of, is it actually extra, right? Raid loves slapping on that big extra tags when there's actually nothing extra at all. Like, genuinely, there is some genuinely fraudulent advertising and shit in this game. Like, I don't know how they get away with it, to be honest. That being said, this is amazing. It's actually probably one of and we've got this as well. This as like, I think it's the best gift they've ever given for anything ever. It is genuinely fantastic. So very happy with it. We got the 7th anniversary gift. You have basically 4 weeks. Log in anytime to claim it. It will take 7 days to get everything, but 3 ancient shards, a sacred, a primal, a 4-star basalt, great. Legendary tome, 900 energy, 1.4 million silver, 1,000 basalt. Like it's, or 1,000 starstone. Excuse me. It's great. That is a great little gift. And they've actually done a genuinely good job with that. And then it's not all. You're also getting 40 prism crystals as well. Now, I'm fairly certain that these ones are paid afterwards. Yeah, so afterwards you have to pay for these. I don't know. So this one is like a tenner. I'm guessing this is 20. I don't know. I think I saw some people sharing they only have a 2-step offer. Right, I've spent money in the game, so I think I've got a 3-step offer. If you've spent more money more recently than me, you might have more offers or more expensive ones. I don't know. But yeah, you get the first step for free. After that, it costs money. But yeah, we'll take a look at that Prism event now. And yeah, I'm going to claim my gift here as well. Don't mind if I do. Thank you very much. It's a bunch of great free stuff. Cool. Now, we have a Prism event kicking off here. One thing I don't know is if we go to the event tab. No. Obviously, the Fusion is kicking off this weekend. I do have news as well. Hang on, let me check the news. One sec. Yeah, so I think it actually is a summon rush. I think it's a summon rush this weekend, so it might not matter. But just in case it ends up being champion chase, you'd be better off holding on to this just to the end, right? No big rush to pull it. But you've got your one free pull, which is fantastic. And yeah, a genuinely free pull this time. No tournament or anything required. It is as free can be. We got some fun stuff in here. Bunch of legendaries and a bunch of epics. Now, we do have one champion from the new faction. We've got this chick, Lionsguard Galatea. I think she's actually really nice. I think this is a great looking champion. Especially if you don't have Cassandra. She is a lovely attack nuker. Yeah, she's just a good attack nuker. She's going to be great and will be very helpful for the faction. Especially if you do the current fusion, I think they'll pair up pretty well. And yeah, she's a nice one. And we also have up here, we've got this guy who also seems pretty strong as well. Keberon the Underflame. He seems pretty solid too. Again, he is another nuker for the fusion. For the faction, for the Argonites, who also has AoE burn. I think he's going to be spamming his A1 quite often. I think it is when enemies even take a turn with burn on. He has a 50-50 to attack them, which is cool. He has a Death Brand on his A2, and he can do an AoE. He's interesting. You know, he's not absolutely broken or anything, but he is useful. And yeah, so I mean, they're worth calling out. Apart from that, the epics, it's solid. You've got a few Lady Mikage epics in here, and then you've got a few, you know, just good epics. Like this Lizard, actually quite good. He was a former fusion champion. Deacon obviously is great. Farrakhan is great. I think there's a couple of duds in here. I think Gory is just bad. Yeah, I think Aishman's pretty bad. The others that are pretty bad, like Enda's pretty bad, and Aishman's fairly bad. But I think they are part of the Mikage fusion. But you've got some useful epics generally, and Mikage epics in there. And then the legendaries again are overall very good. It is a bit of a weird one in the sense that, like, okay, Naldua's in there, like she's the fusion just gone. Or then you've got Venelicia, who's basically Naldua but better, right? Pretty much. Um, like that's a little bit odd. Lots of former fusions, but I mean, look, I mean, somebody, right? There's, I mean, let's say 10,000 of you watch this video, right? That's going to be, uh, what? 600 of you are gonna get a legendary out of it. It's quite a lot, really. 600, and then out of those, there's a chunk of people watching that are gonna walk away with a nice Wixwell for free. Another chunk are going to walk away with like an Armans for free or a Cheshire Cat or lots of really good champions in here, which is cool. I'd say that the weaker two, I will say stock is very good, but you need champions to go with him, right? Like, yeah, he's very good at like Nell and Volcanos in Arena for like top end teams, although that's probably going to fall off hard with Mercurial if it hasn't already. I use him in Faction Wars, but I've got Vizug, the faction unity, is all about burns and poisons. He can be really good. It's a little difficult to maximize. I think he'd still be super useful to most accounts, but to maximize him, a little bit difficult. Whereas, like, Vestel is just gonna blows people up in Arena. What do you need to make her blow people up in Arena? Nothing really. She just does it. Or, like, Noose just sort of does what Newt does. I'd say that Amok, I have him. He's also a bit weaker. Again, he's not useless, right? Certainly help you progressing. He's okay for Chimera. He does have lots of effects that are good for Chimera. Not bad, but I think he is a bit weaker. I think everything else in here is actually very solid and could be quite useful to you. So they are very good legendaries. It's a good selection. I think for me, it's not something that like would tempt me into spending, but I could easily see this. Like if you are a newer player, yeah, there's a good chance you're going to get a really useful champion out of it, like a pretty good chance for free. You can't complain about that. Would obviously be tempting to spend on this if you're a newer player as well, and that's really the purpose, isn't it? That's what they're trying to do, They're trying to get you to get the free one, and then be like, oh, I'll pick up the others, let's go, because they're decent champs. So it's your money. Do whatever you want with it. For me, I don't think so. Either way, save it for the weekend just in case there's a champion chase tournament. Now, got a couple, actually 3 other bits of news. Bit of news number 1 is the boring bit. Thursday, the 5th of March, we're going to have 2x Provoke from Ice Golem. Sunday, the 8th, we're going to have 2x Shield Set from Fire Knight. And Thursday, the 12th, 2x Argonites. That's pretty decent. Sunday is 2x Speed from Dragon. So, like, the Provoke set's fine. You want a set or two. Quite useful for Faction Wars and for Hydra. Shields, you want a set or two, quite useful, again, for Faction Wars or for Titus teams, Seer teams as well. Argonites accessories. Now, here's the thing. The Argonites accessories, Spider in general, it's obviously nice to get accessories for a new faction, but if I look at a lot of the strongest champions on my account here, how many of these accessories are accessories that are dropping from Spider? Like, quick glance through here, there are some. Yes, there's some. But not a ton. Not all that many. Spider accessories, the regular accessories, are more of an early game thing. Yeah, they are. They are these days. That being said, I think that Argonites, you're going to need accessories. You're just not going to have a year's worth of stockpile for them. So it's a pretty decent event. These are all going to be part of the fusion. So yeah, you're going to be farming these dungeons with the fusion. It's all, and Speed is the best set from Dragon by miles. So it's decent. It's just 2x drops, not 3x or anything, but it's fine. Nothing too special, but nice bonuses for the fusion. And then we have even more info, and yeah, they have, I don't know what's gone wrong. They've not shared any shards like they normally do. But yeah, let's touch on the second part first. Let's go. So I actually missed that there was extra parts, so there's a lot here. So on Thursday, the 5th of March, extra legendary event for Ancient Shards, and it will be up for 48 hours. Really good event, like especially with Mercy timers, right? It's a slightly better event than 2x Ancients. You lose out on epics, but you will get more legendaries, particularly if you play around. Where's the Mercy? The Mercy system, right? So if you have built, let's say you're going into this event with 150 summons and no legendary, you're effectively guaranteed within 70 summons, 50 to get here, and then 20 to stack it up. So within 70 summons, you'd be guaranteed a legendary from an Ancient, and then you get a second one for free. So playing around these extra legendary events, for Ancient shards in particular, it's not as good for Sacreds, but it's there. But for Ancients in particular, it can really increase the amount of legendaries you get. It's not a massive deal. You could just pull on 2x Ancients, but this is really good. Now, the one thing you want to make sure not to do is, let's say you said, okay, well, imagine me with 100 shards. But I say, well, I just pulled a legendary from an Ancient, so I'm nowhere near Mercy. You could easily pull the 100 shards and get no legendary, and then you've got nothing out of the event, and that's a disaster. Whereas in a 2x event, it'd be fairly unlucky to pull 100 with no legendary, obviously, but you'd be getting a lot more epic, so you'd still be getting something out of it. So that's one of the downsides. These events are excellent if you can get a legendary, so you need to have enough shards or enough Mercy timer built up that you can effectively guarantee you're going to get a legendary. Don't get suckered in. If you're sitting there going, I really don't have many shards, don't get suckered into it. Save up for a 2x event where you're going to get more consistent value. Don't be gambling unnecessarily. But if you have enough shards that this event isn't a gamble, it's a really strong event. Then let's go orange. On Saturday, also for 48 hours, extra legendary from Sacreds. Extra legendary from Sacreds is not as good. Sacreds are obviously stupidly expensive if you were ever to buy them. They're difficult to get. But the Mercy system for Sacreds is also pretty bad, right? After 12 summons, no legendary, you get a stacking 2%. It's not great. And Sacred shards are also extremely useful for summon rush events. They're extremely useful for anything like that. If there's a summon rush this weekend, it means it could be okay, right? It's a good time to pull for your summon rush, but it's very difficult to guarantee a legendary out of Sacred shards. You have to potentially pull a lot. You might get one very quickly, but you know, it's 6% chance. You could get lucky, you could get extremely unlucky. It's much more difficult to guarantee it compared to the Ancients. And I've never done one for Voids, actually, so there you go. Now here's one thing, actually, for both of these. If there is, I don't think it will be a champion chase. I think it's going to be a summon rush, so it wouldn't matter. But these extra champions do not count. They won't be counted towards it. So if there was a champion chase, it wouldn't count. But yeah, that's what you've got. You've got extra legendary from Ancients on Thursday and Friday, and then extra legendary from Sacreds on Saturday and Sunday. So a nice little celebration. But then what I saw up here is we got some really nice champs. I don't have these on my tier list yet. I'll add them in maybe later today. We got some good champions up here. So, some very, very, very juicy ones. Let's put in the, hang on, what we do. Let's just, can I make the pen bigger? Okay, so we'll just like pop these in so you guys get a better view. Because Plarium hasn't put the thing in, so it looks more normal. Sorry, it'll look like that. And void, and I need to go back to blue. And this could be whatever, blue, yellow, and red, you know? You get the gist. So, these are the champions. Big one, number one for me. Glorious Pallas. This is a bit too big. They're smaller. Glorious Pallas, I think she's incredible. So she's a brand new champion. You might not know her, but she is from the Argonites, and I think she's like she is like one of the big ones to get. So she comes in. She has full debuff removal, block debuffs, and Fervor. Fervor is a 10% damage boost and 10% damage taken reduction. It's a nice buff, very difficult to get otherwise. She has a Team Revive that also puts strength in and increased speed. Accuracy aura is not great, but it's okay. She's got great base stats as well. Her passive is lovely. 15% turn meter boost to all allies at the end of her turn. You give her like Relentless set. You give her a Pert Shadow relic from Faction Wars Hard for more extra turns. And she's going to be pumping. There's no cooldown. Turn meter every single time she takes a turn. And then whenever an ally gets a debuff, she gives them a shield equal to 20% of their max HP. Her A1 is healing all allies. More importantly, it's a Mikage A1, a Lady Mikage A1, attacks one enemy with a random ally from the Argonites. So you could, just like Lady Mikage and Ninja, you could do Pallas plus Cassandra or Pallas plus Hecaton and really start to destroy some PvE content. Even PvP, there is potential there. I think she's sort of like a not Queen Eva, Elva Autumnborn. She's like Elva Autumnborn 2.0 is my take on her. Elva's got a better aura. Elva has increased speed as well, but Pallas has a better revive. She's got a better A1. Elva's doing more healing, but Pallas should be doing enough. I think Pallas looks to be absolutely stonking insane. So she is a huge one to pull. And as the reviver for the faction, like she's going to be massive for any faction limited content like Faction Wars. We know the new world boss that's coming up is going to have restrictions. She could be super useful for that. So she's great. Uzal of the Jade is decent. He is a dwarf damage dealer. Not as good as her. But he is a dwarf damage dealer, Spirit Affinity. Now, he does have AoE decreased defense. He also boosts up extra turns, which is cool. He's got chance for extra turn, bigger if he crits. He increases chances for allies to get extra turns. He does more damage on extra turns. His A3 is a massive single target nuke. If it happens on an extra turn, his A1 could give an extra turn, definitely if he kills an enemy. He's like just a damage dealing beast. Now, he's very squishy, so not so insane in arena. But I wouldn't be surprised if people really like this guy. He's just a AoE decreased defense and damage dealing machine who can proc extra turns like crazy. He's a really, really strong damage dealer, but not as good as Pallas. Feral, I'd also say, is very strong. Yeah, Feral is extremely good, obviously. So he comes in. He's one of the best perfect fail champs in the game and one of the best increased resist. His decreased accuracy and block buffs. Combine the decreased accuracy with his increased resist. His passive also gives you more resistance. You can resist it very easily. And this is a big one. If an ally's under 4 or more buffs, he increases their damage by 20%, which is huge. It's a massive damage boost for your team. That stacks on top of everything else. Is totally unique. So yeah, it's a massive damage boost to any team. Decreased speed A1. He's just a really solid champion for any sort of boss. I know I'm sort of more hyped about Pallas at the moment. We should probably put them. They're probably even. To be fair, they are probably even. Michinaki is good. I think Michinaki. We'll do the line to how far it goes, not from where it starts. How about that? It's probably easier. I'm gonna put Uzal up a bit as well. I'll put Michinaki. You know what? I'm gonna put Michinaki slightly behind Uzal. I actually think he's good, but Michinaki's not the monster he once was. He's still a great champ, right? AoE buff removal and Hex. AoE decreased defense, decreased attack. So A1 does burns, and then he's joining in on attacks quite often. Yep, he's solid. You know, he's doing good damage, respectable damage, lots of utility. I think he's a good champion. I just think that newer champions are better. And then Brogni. Brogni is probably somewhat... I put him slightly ahead of Uzal, but pretty close. I don't know. Let's put Brogni like equal to Uzal. Brogni ends up being useful quite often. I think he's more useful than Michinaki, to be fair. Yeah, Brogni's done all right. Block debuffs increase attack and a shield that's protected. The shield is protected. Then he can grow the shield. You build him for damage, so this hits hard and it grows the shield. Can remove some buffs. Burn A1. The shield reflects damage back and heals the team based off of the damage absorbed as well. He's good, you know, he does decent amount of damage, lots of survivability. I find him quite decent for Grim Forest, actually. And he is just a solid champion. Not a must-have, but he's solid. So those are my thoughts on these. Pallas is the clear number 1. And will I put him number 2? I'm going to put Feral number 2. I'm going to let the Pallas hype put Feral number 2. And then I'll put Uzal number 3. Yeah, and I'll put Brogni joint 3rd. I will. And Michinaki 4th. They're all decent champs. They're all champs you're happy to get. But I would be leaning towards Pallas or Feral being the big ones. I think they are noticeably better than the others, although the others are all good. Geomancer, Lockwayne, Taragi the Frog. Lockwayne is very bad. We can touch on that right away. He might be part of the Mikage fusion. I've actually forgotten. But he's not good. Speed aura. Got some damage for arena. Not worth building, to be honest. Not worth building in 2026. Geomancer's excellent. Taragi is excellent, not quite as good. So Geomancer, Taragi, both excellent. Geomancer, still super useful for tons of bosses. I think a bunch of people were using him as well in Grim Forest. Burns, reflecting enemy max HP, damage triggers here. Decrease accuracy is lovely. He can remove buffs as well. He's great. Really, really, arguably the best epic in the game. He's up there alongside like Seer and maybe a couple of others, but he is insane, right? And then we've got, who was the other one? I've forgotten. Taragi the Frog. Not at the top tier, but pretty darn great. Ally protection. Heals himself up. Puts out a shield as well. AoE provoke. Decrease attack A1. Poisons on his passive. He's a great, solid champion. Very helpful for progressing. Good base stats. He is good. So yeah. Geomancer clear number 1. Taragi number 2. From the Voids. So I'm probably going to have to do a test as soon as possible. Let's do a different color. I think I'm going to have to do a test as soon as possible on Hecaton. But Hecaton, from the looks of it, is absolutely insane. I need to test him out myself. I will do a video on it for this weekend, I suppose. No boosted Void Shards event, seems like. But Hecaton is insane. Speed Aura. So the deal with him, I think he's typically going to cast it on himself because he is in the lead. So he gives himself increased crit rate, block damage, and counterattack. Team turn meter boost, but his A1, if he has more buffs than the enemy, he does an AoE attack that's always critical. And then he has a 100% chance to provoke and enfeeble. With a 50-50 that they can't be resisted. That is kind of nuts. Like, just spamming out AoE A1s with provoke and enfeeble. It's like a Marius A1. Yeah, it's very much like it, but kind of crazy. If he doesn't have more buffs than the target, it's a single target attack. It's okay, but it won't always be critical. So I do suspect you're building this champion without much crit rate, and you're relying on the always critical thing. So that's something to watch out for. I mean, I'd have to test him to see for sure. His A2, increased defense before attacking, and his damage scales off defense. And he puts out Stormcall. Stormcall is previously only available from the Stormcaller relic, but Stormcall is incredible. It gives you 5% damage per stack. It stacks up to 5 times. Where the hell is it? Where is it? Here it is. 5% damage per stack up to 5 times. That's up to 25% more damage. At 5 stacks, it consumes it, and you do a stun that can't be resisted. And then it removes the Storm Call, so he'd have to reapply it. It's obviously very strong. He ignores Stone Skin. He ignores 50% defense. Both of those if he has more buffs than the target. And then he decreases turn meter on the enemies. Like, insane. His passive is then absolutely crazy. Whenever an ally under Storm Call placed by him lands a crit, he does pure damage that scales off of enemy max HP. He can do up to 10%. If he has 5 buffs, he will do 10% max HP damage. If it's a boss, it's just capped at 3% max HP damage. But still, every time anyone with Stormcall on your team lands a crit, he's doing max HP damage. He's going to be pumping just max HP damage constantly. Really crazy. So, yeah, I really need to test this guy because I think he looks to be potentially absolutely busted. And he's clearly like the new big selling champion. Yeah, so he looks insane. Arnorn is excellent as well. And Onryo is also excellent. I probably put them like this. Number 1. I'm actually going to stretch his out from the looks of it. Arnorn 2. Onryo 3. I think they are all good. Arnorn is very cool for PvP, mostly. And pretty much only, actually. But he's got a fun thing. He's got a cheat death effect, where when he's going to die, he stays alive, he gets Stone Skin, and then he does an AoE. He gets more attack for every buff on the enemy team. So, like, if he's in a situation where he's going to die, it's quite likely the enemy does have a bunch of buffs. So, enemy team buffs up, they nuke your team. If they kill him, he goes, I don't die, I get Stone Skin, I nuke your team. And if you haven't locked him out, he could get his turn and then nuke again as well. And his A2 also does a massive single target nuke. It can ignore 35% defense, gives him an extra turn if he kills somebody. He's a glass cannon, but he has the cheat death effect one time. One time the glass cannon in the fight becomes a Stone Skin cannon, and that is kind of terrifying. I think he will be weaker with Mercurial, and that might make him move down a bit. On the other hand, Onryo, and I might actually change my ratings here a little bit, Onryo should do pretty well with Mercurial. Double hit A1, extra hit if the target's under a buff, Mercurial, total guard, 2 extra hits if the target's under a buff and is from the Undead Hordes. Theodosia, the new Mina chick is very strong. Sifi and Rotus, Ultimate Death Knight, they are. There's a few champions there that's still relevant. Extra turn if he kills an enemy. Double hitter, A2 that blocks revive. Great, more damage for buffs. Double hitter, A3 that ignores Stone Skin, Shield, and Strengthen. Then he also splashes some damage. I don't know if this takes off total guard stacks. Let me know in the comments. Does this splash damage remove total guard stacks? That makes it really cool. But yeah, he has the good potential to, just sort of... He's a good damage dealer in general. Void damage dealer, pumping out single target damage, but 25% of it becomes AoE because of his passive, which is quite nice. But he can get extra turns in arena and pick stuff off. He's not top tier by any means, but he's very, very, very good in pretty much all circumstances. He is very squishy. He is a glass cannon, but he is a very consistent cannon. So he is good. I would say that Arnorn is better. He's going to struggle with Mercurial, but maybe a lot of you won't even have Mercurial for a while. So I'll leave the ratings as they are. Yeah, I think that obviously none of you have Hackathon. He's the obvious one to pull for. So it doesn't really matter how I rate Arnorn or Onryo here. You should obviously go for Hackathon. And then I think you should probably go for Pallas, but Feral is always good. And that's sort of it. So yeah, for me, it's like I said, it's Pallas number 1, it's Hackathon number 1. They are the two biggies because they are insane. Oh, I didn't touch on the Void epics. Demitha is very strong, and Nia is good. Not quite as good. I go Demitha first, and then Nia. Demitha, Dwarf, Epic. Does a lot of healing. So it gives you block damage just for 1 turn. You can build some Demon Lord teams around this. And then her A2, it sounds like it doesn't do much healing. This actually does excellent healing. It's actually way stronger than it sounds. So she is an excellent protector and healer. Very, very solid Epic. I like her a lot, actually. And then White Dryad Nia is decent. She does open up on manual where you can have her reset a cooldown target skills. So you could have like 2 Nias with the Yumiko and have them, they just spam their A2 on Yumiko and go. One fun thing for the Faction Wars hard stage where you have to reduce champion skill cooldowns. I mean, you could just stack people at like Merciless or Relentless gear and it works really well. Or Masteries can help too. You could just have 2 Nias, just keep resetting each other every single turn, and that counts towards that Faction Wars hard stage, which is fun. This is an interesting A2. Her A3 is solid, ally protection, small strengthen. Her A1 is an AoE decrease speed. It's quite good. Only a 50-50, but she's void, so she won't weak hit, so that's nice. Or, well, unless there's something exceptional like Poison Cloud. And then she does heal people a bit based off of how much she's healed. That's not very important, to be honest, but yeah, you can do some fun stuff with it. You would need to manual for this to work properly, which is, in my mind, a major downside in 2026. But she is still useful for Faction Wars Hard. And yeah, she's just genuinely useful for some stuff. Like, it's quite easy to get her to work in a Seer team, and she can provide some 2 extra buffs for Seer and stuff like that. So you can set stuff up with her. I think she's nice. I think Demitha is generally better. I wouldn't pull for Lockwayne. But all the others are good champions. Yeah, everything here except Lockwayne is good. Pallas is the big one, and Hackathon. Pallas and Hackathon, they are the 2 biggies. They're new, they're shiny, right? They've got the new car smell. They're exciting. So it's easy to overrate them, but I am like 95% sure that these champions are both absolutely bonkers. As I said, I should probably reserve at least 10%. I should say 90% sure, because I haven't tested them myself much. I haven't tested him at all. I tested her a tiny bit and she was good, but I need to do actual proper testing on them. I'll try and make that a priority for the next couple of days to get testing done on them. But there we go. It does raise the question, this for me as well. I think it's going to be a summon rush, most likely. Maybe it's a champion chase. I don't know. This is more of a summon rush type thing. I think we're due a summon rush. What was last weekend? I don't even remember. Yeah, okay, we just came out of a champion chase, so I expect we do have a summon rush. So yeah, ancient shards for summon rush, typically not great. They might boost the ancient shard points. We don't know. Sometimes they do that. But you might be tempted chasing the extra legendary, chasing a chance for Pallas. I'm tempted by that, to be honest. They're only ancient shards. Oh, if they boost them up for the summon rush, could be quite good if it's part of the fusion. which it should be. Otherwise, Sacred Shards is looking pretty good as part of the fusion. I think you could also pull Void Shards and be pretty happy. I mean, you could chase Pallas as well with Primals. Would probably not recommend it, but yeah, we'll see. The question mark is, will they do boosted points for, presuming it's Summon Rush, will they do boosted points for Ancient Shards? If so, they're quite nice. Otherwise, Sacred Shards are quite nice. Void Shards, no boosted event, but Hecaton is incredibly good, so it's, you know, whatever. And a 15x event for Void Shards is significantly better than 15x or other shard types. There's far fewer Void Legendaries in the pool, so 15x has a much bigger impact. So yeah, it looks okay. Primals I'd probably be inclined to save for 2x Mythicals, to be honest. But yeah, unlikely, as I said, the summon pool is not going to help you completing the summon rush. We'll see. Well, again, the other thing to watch out for would be summon rush would typically begin on Friday. It might start on Thursday this time. It might start tomorrow. I mean, we'll find out tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, you can just pull on Friday, right? This is up for 48 hours. You can just wait a day. So yeah, don't pull on Thursday. Yeah, don't pull on Thursday if there is no summon event up for the fusion, because the fusion is starting. I'm guessing they'll probably kick the summon event off on Thursday as well for the fusion, is my guess. I think it's going to be a 4-day summon rush, but I guess we'll see. Fingers crossed for bonus points for Ancients, and fingers crossed people get Pallas or whoever you want. So there you go. Let me know what you think about all of this. Lots of news. I will see you. Check out the Fusion Showcase. I did a Fusion Showcase already. I think he is worth getting, and obviously with the new Fusion token system, you should do it if you can. Unless you've got a strong reason not to do the fusion, you should probably just do it. Basically, if you can do it, you should do it, probably. If you can't do it because you're too early in the game or you're out of resources, then yeah, you know yourself, right? If you can do it, it's worth doing. I think either which way. I'll have a full guide on the fusion events tomorrow when we get the fusion calendar. I'm planning out what to do, but you can check out the fusion gameplay on my channel. He does some really interesting stuff. I don't think he is a must-get. He's definitely not a must-get. He's not even in the game yet. He's not a must-have fusion, but he is a very good fusion. He's good. He's worth getting. You don't need him, but he's nice. He's good. It's worth doing, and obviously the fusion tokens gives it that extra layer of value, which is a smart thing Plarium has done to stop people skipping fusions, much to our chagrin. But anyway, there we go. That's all I've got. Thank you for watching. Give me your thoughts. I'll see you tomorrow for plenty more. Goodbye.